Welcome back. This is Scott Tanker, host of Breakfast with the Boss. As you know, I'm here each and every Thursday from 9:30 to 10 and 10 to 10:30. We meet people who have a purpose, they have a passion, it's moral and it's legal, and they help people. Either they help them individually, they help them personally, they help them by associating you with the people that you need to be associated with to help your life get better, or they help you directly. And today, I think I have someone who helps you directly. I have a gentleman named Mike Sokoloff. Mike, how are you?
Hey Scott, how you doing?
Pleasure to see you again. Mike and I go back a little bit, and Mike is an interesting guy. He's been through a lot of business ventures in his life, and he has one now. It's called the president of Liquid Capital Business Funding. But before we get to exactly what he does now to help businesses get better and grow, let's talk about where he came from and this aha moment that made him go into this particular industry. So, excuse me, Mike, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into this particular industry.
Well, as you know, Scott, I'm actually an engineer, computer science engineer. So I'm really a numbers guy, but I've never written a line of code for money.
Okay.
I've been in corporate sales for over 30 years. From names you know, like Xerox and ADP, and the last 16 years selling corporate software to big companies. And as you get a little bit older, you have different goals in your life, and I could kind of see the green from the fairway, if you will, with my daughter in her third year of medical school, almost off the payroll, and my son just graduated college on Saturday.
Oh, congratulations.
So hopefully he'll get a job. Looks like he won't have too much of a problem. So as you look down the road, you kind of think, well, what am I going to do long term? Software is a pretty tough gig. It's a lot of you can't ease into retirement selling software.
Okay.
There's calls with Silicon Valley negotiating contracts 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
There's emails on the weekend they expect immediate responses to. You're traveling every quarter, going over your pipeline. And don't get me wrong, you can make a lot of money in it. But as you get a little bit older, it becomes tougher, and it's not something that, like I said, you can ease out of. So I was looking for a business that I could do long term, as I told you before. So this is something that right now, as I'm getting going, working extremely hard, doing business development, developing a network. And as I develop more clients, I'll be spending a lot more time servicing them and not as much on business development. And as I get older, I may not be doing any business development, just kind of having a portfolio of clients and working with them.
So, how long were you an engineer?
Zero. I was a computer science engineer. Like I said, I never wrote a line of code for money.
So, what was your first job?
Xerox.
Selling copy machines?
Copy machines,
Okay.
memory writers,
Okay.
computers, printers, all of that, yeah.
And how long did you work for Xerox?
5 years.
And then you went to,
Then I dabbled in commercial real estate
right,
until the S&L crisis.
right, which
When
was
the
10 years
RTC
ago, 12 years ago?
No, that was in
Oh, the SNL.
1990.
Oh, that one, okay.
91,
Yeah.
I think, when
Right.
the RTC took
Right.
over all the SNLs
Right.
that were overextended.
Right.
My timing was off by about 3 years, Scott. I might have retired
Right.
in 1991 if I was 3 years earlier, because in my first month I sold a shopping center.
Right,
I said, this is easy.
right.
And then all of a sudden, all my clients were saying, Mike, you're a great guy, but I don't need you. I get properties for 50 cents on the dollar
Right.
from the RTC. So then I said, I got to go back to corporate sales.
Right.
That's when I went to ADP for 10 years.
And what did you do at ADP?
I sold payroll and HR and tax services
Okay.
to major accounts and then national accounts. And, kind of got bit by the year 2000 bug in software, where they were saying, oh, you can make all this money and stock options and all this and all that,
Right.
which is possible.
Right.
But it was kind of a year 2000 crash, if
Right.
you remember.
Right.
So after year 2000, I did it for 16 years. And some jobs made a lot of money, some did okay, but it's very hectic. A lot of turmoil, a lot of changes, technology changes, business changes, etc. And as I said, when I saw the fairway, I said, you know what, I've had enough of this. Let me look for a business to buy, or that's what I really look for, is a business to buy. And one of the brokers that I talked to said, he does franchising and sells businesses. And I told him what I wanted to do, which was basically what I've been doing,
Right.
sales. That's what I
So you
like.
want you to
And
find
I'm an
something in
engineering
sales
guy.
that
I'm a numbers guy.
Right.
So I said, I don't want any employees.
Right.
I don't want any inventory. I'd like to work out of my house. Look, I've been doing the last 16 years. What do you got? So this was one of the options. He said, hey, take a look at this.
So I find you very interesting, Mike, because you re-engineered yourself. Not because you had to, financially maybe you didn't, but physiologically and for the health of yourself, and for also to do something that you have more control of your own life. That's why you did it. And you had the balls, pardon me, the kahunas, pardon me folks, to go out there and take a shot at it. So you had to have a lot of confidence, even though you're probably scared too.
I'm not really that scared. I know I can sell, and I know there's a market for it. It's just a matter of
but it took a
executing.
matter of time though, right? I mean,
It's good. They can take a year to get a deal.
right, you need 100 yards to get a touchdown, and you start this business at the age of, not 35,
No,
and not
right.
45.
Right,
So,
right.
I, like you, I also changed my occupation about 11, 12 years ago, in addition to the one I was doing. And I was very proud of the way I engineered myself. And not everybody can do that at our age. We're getting to an age where people think we're not very important.
Well, it's not really that much of a change because I'm basically selling.
I understand. But by the same token,
It's a different type of sale.
And it's a step in the direction that you hadn't gone before. And it could have gone flat on your face, and we wouldn't be having this discussion.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, what's really good about what I hear is you have an amazingly worldly vision, a worldly perspective
I understand
of business.
I think, yeah.
Of business.
I understand big business more than little business.
Right.
Small business, I should say.
That
I'm
much
learning more
frustrates you
and
than
more
small
about
business.
that. Well, small
Although we can
business,
turn quicker.
I've never done I'm doing a ton of networking. Well, obviously, we're in a networking group
Right.
together. In software, you have your list of accounts.
Right. You just
You know your contacts there, and you just hammer. And you just call them, and you meet with them.
Yeah.
And you're very, very focused.
on that list of people. Yeah.
Right. From a partnering standpoint, you might have implementation partners that you work with that may
Right.
have relationships.
Right.
But, I mean, some weeks I'm at networking events 3 nights.
Yeah.
Some days I have 3 networking events.
As we go. Now listen, I want you to hold that thought. Mike, I'm with Mike Sokoloff. He is the president of Liquid Capital Business Funding. His number is 856-296-9475. He's going to talk about, when we come back from vacation, when we come back from commercial, he's going to talk about exactly what business lending is and what it can do for you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
That sparks a feeling.
Welcome back. This is Scott Tanker, host of Breakfast with the Boss on Radio Vision Network TV. Now, we are with someone today who, if you're in business and you're looking to grow, you're looking to get some cash in your hands, you need to enhance the funding of your own business for any particular reason. Mike Sokoloff has been in business for a long time, and that's what we're going to talk to him about. Mike, tell us about the Liquid Capital Business funding that you do for people or for businesses.
Well, the gist of it is I help small to mid-sized businesses that are B2B businesses that need money now, and they can't get what they need from banks.
Well, give us an example. If obviously no names, protecting innocent, as they say, Sergeant. But money for expansion, money for what?
It's
Anything?
typically for companies that are going through some type of transition, preferably growth. It's more exciting, right? So I help companies. We don't really provide a permanent solution. We get companies from point A to point B. So if somebody has let's just say, for example, a temp agency. Somebody starts the business with very little capital. They don't need anything, right? They just need people. So they might have some friends that need jobs. They might know a company that needs people. So they place those people at a company. The company pays them in, let's say, 30 or 45 days. But those people need to eat. How are you going to pay them every week or two if you don't have any capital? It's
Okay.
impossible. So what happens is people start businesses without enough capital. And then they see, wait a minute, I can grow this. Well, how do I grow it? If you don't have real estate, banks typically won't touch you. So
you
they
work
come to
with
me,
newer
and I don't care
businesses?
about real estate.
Newer businesses are more important than
It's
ongoing?
any business that's transitioning. You could have a business been around forever and they got to go through a divorce. All of a sudden, the guy needs money quicker.
So, all right, so divorce. You want to use it to pay your employees. Want to use
Buy
it-
inventory.
Buy inventory. Expand your business.
Yes.
Your building. Can you buy a building with this?
No, this is strictly purchasing invoices. Strictly.
So if you purchase an invoice, you give me X amount of dollars, do you care what I do it with? Do you care what I use it for?
I couldn't care less.
As long as you get
But
paid
it's
back.
an ongoing scenario. It's not a one-time loan. It's a
Right.
relationship that we set up
Right.
to give you working capital.
On an ongoing basis.
Yes.
Is it a one-time pop or is it ongoing, the money?
Well, it's whenever you give me an invoice.
Oh, so it's based upon the invoice you get and collect.
Yes.
I see. So, okay. So if someone needs an advance though, is that possible? No advances.
Invoices.
Just invoices to the advance.
People ask me questions all the time. I say 3 words. I buy invoices.
So now people have an invoice that's really old, or just say a year old.
That's not really what it's for. We're not a collection agency.
Okay.
We provide working capital, so as their business is operating, they can keep the lights on, pay the bills, and grow exponentially. So they don't have to wait for their money. They can be in business without any cash practically.
So how about another example of what they did with that cash, and any examples you give them, besides paying the payroll? What else do they use it for?
Well, we also do things for PO financing. So I have a deal right now that I'm working with a guy. Hopefully he works out the kinks, but he's a PhD in polymer technology. He designs packaging, which could be complicated with plastics and rubber and all this kind of stuff. He has about 5 clients that want to do business with him.
Right.
He has to design it, right? They make it in Korea and China. He doesn't have any money. So the manufacturers want to make sure they're going to get paid. So with our PO financing product, we'll put deposits in a bank. A bank will issue a letter of credit to those manufacturers so they can be assured that if they do what they're supposed to do, they'll get paid. So what happens is they make the stuff, they ship it, the PO financing group inspects it to make sure it's up to specifications. Then when they already have a PO from these end companies that want to buy the stuff, right? So they already know they got the business. It gets shipped to those companies, and then we factor those invoices. We buy those invoices that are generated as soon as it's shipped. Right. So this particular guy that I'm working with, he may start out with $250,000. He's going to make whatever his margin is. It's pretty low margin, maybe 20%. No cash out of pocket, 0.
Right. So people
Great country, isn't it?
Yeah, so people who have inventions would be really good. I mean, I'm thinking for you.
It could be.
Yeah.
It's more meat and potatoes type companies. Temp agencies. I'm talking to a guy now who details cars for dealerships. Landscaping companies. I'm talking to a lady who fixes and installs elevators for companies. Anything where people sell to businesses that invoice them, that don't get paid right away, that don't have a lot of capital, that are trying to grow.
Now,
That's
banks
the key.
won't take them because they don't have real estate? That's the only reason, or the
Or
numbers
bad
don't look
credit.
good?
I don't care about credit.
Yeah.
You could have the worst credit in the world.
As
As
long
long
as
as
you
you're a
got-
good guy and you have good character, I
So-
don't care, because I don't rely on your credit.
Right.
I rely on the invoices.
So-
I care about your customers' credit.
Yes, you
though.
do.
A
So
lot.
how does that work then there's a cost for all this?
course.
Does some of it cost more than others depending on the risk you're taking? Or is it usually factored out just by numbers?
It's more of an art than a science, Scott. I look at a number of factors. We're a factoring company. I hate to use the word too much.
Criteria, yeah.
Criteria. So what I'll look at is, what is the monthly volume of invoices? How much money do they need up front immediately? We usually range that from 75 to 85% of what the invoice value is. Okay, so we collect the money for them. It's not a collection agency; it's an accounts receivable department. So through my franchisor, they have a whole accounts receivable department. So let's say you give me an invoice for $10,000, and you need the money.
Your
My
department
clients
calls.
need money. They send me the invoice with their documentation. I then call their end customer to verify it. You can have the money that day. People like that.
Now,
Then we
how long
collect
do you
the
give the
invoice.
customer to pay?
Whatever their terms are. In other words, whatever the terms are of my client with their customer,
Which creates the factoring also. So if the terms are
that's the
6
factoring.
months.
But we don't do
versus-
anything beyond 3 months.
Okay, so I'm just, all right, so my fault. So if it's a 3-month payment versus a 2-week payment, that's a different factoring.
Well, we have a minimum of 30 days.
Okay, so 30
So
days.
we'll do
versus-
2 weeks, but they're paying for 30 days.
Yeah, okay, so, but what I'm saying is that you have a 30-day to a 3-month factoring, and there's a difference between the two.
Absolutely. We call it fees, not rates,
Well, yeah, okay,
because we provide not only the money, but the accounts receivable service.
right.
So our accounts receivable people receive either through a lockbox check or an ACH.
I got to tell ladies and gentlemen, we got to take another commercial. This is so cool to me. It's fascinating. Not only do you get rid of the problem, you get rid of the servicing, the hours you spend trying to collect this stuff, which is something people don't even think about, let alone the dollars you're getting to help enhance your business. Stay with us. I'm with Mike Sokoloff, the president of Liquid Capital Business Funding. He can help your business. It's very obvious how he can do it. You need to speak to him at 856-296-9475. Stay with us. We'll be back after these messages.
Of mine.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scott Tanker, host of Breakfast with the Boss. As you know, we're here each and every Thursday speaking with, conversing with incredibly interesting people that have a purpose and a passion. It's moral, it's legal, and it can help you. Today, we're with Mike Sokoloff, who is a business funding specialist. Before we went to break, we were talking about some of the different ways you can help. You want to just continue your thinking?
Yeah, we were talking about what makes up the fees,
Right.
the fee structure.
What they call the
And I talked
factoring.
about, the factors of the factoring.
Right.
We talked about not only do you get the money, you get the service
Right.
of the receivables. Another service we provide is credit.
Right.
So as I mentioned, I don't care about the credit of my clients as long as they're not a criminal
Right.
and they're a good guy.
Right.
Because my only real risk is fraud.
Right.
That's my only real risk.
Correct.
So we provide not only accounts receivable, but credit. What's credit do? They look at the credit quality of my client's customers. So that's another service to my client because let's say they have 25 customers. Our credit department evaluates them. They may come back to me and say, Mike, these two are no good. I'll go to my client and say, look, we don't want to factor all of these clients. These two, put them on COD, you may want to drop them. That's a value. Small businesses can't afford to have a credit department.
Right.
And to top it off, if they have any people that need a credit of $10,000 or more, we have a partnership with AIG. And if our credit department okays them, AIG normally will, and they'll insure those invoices for bankruptcy or refusal to pay for 90% of the invoice value. And the only fee there is 20 basis points for you non-finance professionals. That's 0.2%.
Right.
Which if they went directly to AIG and try to insure those invoices, it would cost them 75 basis points.
Right.
So that's another thing that we provide as part of the service.
Again, I think we left right before commercial. I said, wow, you could be our accounts receivable department.
Yes.
And that means I don't have to ask Mary Lou or Bobby Sue or Billy to be my accounts receivable person all that time. That's money too.
Or you were doing it
Or even worse, I had to do it.
and you hated it.
Yes.
And it made your relationship with your customers strained.
Now, do you have a minimum number of invoices you need a month, or is it all volume?
It's all based on dollars. There is no hard, fast rules. This is my company. This is my money. I negotiate all the fees, all the rates, all the details. And as I was talking about before, the way I determine that is A, what's the volume of invoices? The sweet spot is between 50,000 and 250,000 a month, right? So I look at that as one criteria. Then I look at how long do the people pay them back? Does it take them 30 days, 45, 60? I look at the whole accounts receivable schedule. If it's a longer payback time, obviously I get paid more money. So I may reduce the rate a little bit there.
But yeah, what do you do in a small business where many of them don't have accounts receivable schedules? They just are so casual, in their billing that you get paid when you get paid, and I don't know how long
they
it
need
takes
to have an
Johnny
invoice.
Jones ABC. I don't know in the last 6 years what his payment schedule has been. He pays me sometimes in 3 months, sometimes he pays me in 1 month, sometimes he pays me immediately. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being difficult just to.
They should have some arrangement with their customers.
Okay. So
Now, they may get paid erratically, but there should be something understood of when they're going to get paid.
So is one of the things you suggest is a contract or
They should
a
have
service
agreement. Yes.
Maybe not, when payment. Yeah.
They got to have some type of understanding,
Yeah.
right? It's not just, hey,
So if it says payable upon receipt,
I don't get involved because I don't help them.
but
'Cause
if
there's
they don't
nothing-
pay it for 30 days, then what?
I'm not a collection department. I'm not a collection company.
So it's really got to be, you help people not only get into the business of receiving money more properly, more efficiently, but also give them money up front while they're doing that.
They
so you
need
really
the
can help
money to
that.
run the business.
But you know what? To me, and I'm telling you, you're giving yourself less credit than you deserve because you are helping a business actually get organized.
Yes.
Many times they're not organized in this area at all, which is why they're floundering a little bit. So I need to give you more credit, Dr. Sokoloff, and I'll call him
Okay.
Dr. Numbers, because you take a business and you take the operational side and you take care of that, which is probably the single most important thing you need is to get paid. So I don't know if you either write the invoices or you collect the invoices that are proper, the quality invoices on an ongoing basis. You have 25, 50 transactions a month, $50,000 to $250,000 a month in invoicing. You can really help a business so many ways, more than just the money, even though the money might be the biggest attraction.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Scott. The average client
It's fantastic.
stays with us for 2 to 3 years. Okay.
So they get on their feet and kick.
And they
kick
become
butt.
bankable.
Yeah.
Or they have enough capital. They don't need a bank. But here's the thing. A lot of them stay.
Why would they want to use the bank at all this? Because it's less expensive.
Way less expensive.
That's the big hit.
Right. But
But you get
here's
less
the thing.
expensive too. It's the factoring and the criteria gets better.
Yeah, I would see. We don't have
You
contracts.
adjust. So you
we don't have
adjust.
contracts.
Right.
If somebody does what they think they're going to do
And you-
and they grow, I'll give them a break.
Right, you adjust.
And the thing is, the average one stays 2 to 3 years, then they become bankable, or they don't need the money. But a lot of them stay.
Was I like the concept?
They like the service.
Right.
If you're the business owner, do you want to go back to collecting them?
Well, let me tell you, if you have 300 transactions a month, the cost to have someone collect them, that's worth it.
It's
Than
a
the
expense.
bank give me the money.
It's a big expense.
Because you never have a sick day. But the person collecting your money might have a sick day.
We have never missed a funding, including when Lehman Brothers went belly up. Liquid Capital has never missed a funding. We've been in business as a franchising organization in Canada since 1999 and the
Fantastic.
United States since 2005,
Listen,
and never
that's
missed a funding.
fantastic.
So if you're relying on us, you're going to get the money.
Listen, there's a camera right here on the left. I want you to tell them how to get a hold of you right here on the left, how to get a hold of you, when to get a hold of you, and where to get a hold of you.
I work locally out of Mount Laurel, and my territory is the world with a referral. So Scott's a great referrer for me. Best way to reach me is you can call me on my cell phone anytime, unless I'm on the phone or at the gym or sleeping, I answer the phone.
Okay, and that
So
number?
you can get connect right with me. I'm at 856-296-9475. If you're more of an email person, I know I send a lot of emails out. My email address is msokoloff, SOKOLOFF, at liquid, capital with an A, funding.com.
It's been eye-opening to me. I think you do so much more than lend money, so I'm telling everybody that. Lending money is the end result, but what you do for businesses, helping them get more efficient, and I've been in business, that's most important. Making money is not that hard. Keeping it and collecting it is the hard part.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Tanker here with Mike Sokoloff. If you have a small business or you know somebody who has a small business or even an inventor, someone who has an idea that they don't know how to get enough money to kick it off the ground, you need to speak to Mike, because even if he can't help you, he's the kind of guy I know that will guide you in a direction that you can be helped.
I know lots of banks.
And he
know
knows,
lots of brokers.
he knows lots of people in high places, as they say. Mike, thank you so much for being with us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Scott Tanker. We're going to be signing off from Breakfast with the Boss just for this week, but we'll see you next week. And the following week, I think we'll see you in each and every week going into 2018. Have a great day. Have a great holiday season, and we'll talk to you soon.